received from our community. We could not have done this without them. I cannot express enough that speaking up is absolutely the right thing to do, and in this instance, they, in fact, have done just that. Through relentless follow-up and exceptional police work, the men and women of the Detroit Police Department have had an opportunity to look at the evidence, recover evidence, look at video, continuing to look at video, and we've identified a suspect, and we hope to have an arrest in a matter of moments, likely before this press briefing is complete. As many of you are also aware, 6 people, 3 males, 3 females, between the ages of 26 and 46 were shot outside the banquet hall located at 9800 Chalmers. Actually, it was the 9800 block of Chalmers, again at 2 a.m. This morning. Preliminary evidence suggests that this was an exchange of gunfire from people both at the location as well as the perpetrator who shot into the location. We believe that this is a known suspect. This was a target victim, a targeted victim. So the community is not at risk. This was some type of conflict between the two parties involved. This was not a random or targeted shooting. Or it was, in fact, a target shooting. I apologize. It was not a random shooting, but a targeted shooting. In addition to that, I want to also say that, we want our businesses to thrive in the city. We want them to have the opportunity to be successful. Certainly coming out of the lockdown with COVID, we understand that the businesses in the community are excited to be back in business at full stride. But we also want our businesses to make us aware when they're having these large assemblies, particularly this time of morning on a Monday, so that we can provide special attention. And they also need to make sure that they provide the appropriate security when they have this number of people at their facility. We went into that facility, talked to the management of that facility. We looked at the records, and we've identified the fact that this building and this business has not been properly licensed since 2013. As I promised earlier when I've talked about these types of incidents, that once the police comes into these environments, we're going to look at everything. And in this instance, we find that the business isn't properly licensed. So later this afternoon, we'll be working with the Buildings and Safety Division of the City of Detroit, and we'll be shutting down that business. With that, I will take any questions that you all may have.
We just ask the media to come to the microphone to ask those questions.
Good. How are you, ma'am?
Good. A couple quick questions. Kim Craig, Channel 7. The video that you guys are looking at, is it from the establishment?
I'm not prepared to tell you exactly where our videos come from. They have been scouring some video in the area and looking at some green light footage, but that's all I can release at this time.
Okay. And can you say approximately how many people were at this establishment prior to the shooting?
Well over 100 people.
And how many shooters? You said that there was crossfire, but was it one person who initiated it and people responding, and how many people were doing the shooting? If you could say.
It is really early in the investigation at this point. We are going to be taking one person into custody relatively soon, and we'll have more information to share later.
Does it look like the people that exchanged gunfire with the shooter, was it like in self-defense, if you will?
We hope to learn more later.
And motive. Can you say anything about a motive?
Again, what we have right now is 6 people shot, 1 fatal. Our focus is to get this violent perpetrator off the street and to learn more about what caused the shooting to occur and to ensure that no one else is victimized.
And last question. You said this was targeted, but 6 people were shot. So who were they after? Well,
again, as we get the perpetrator in custody, the detectives will be spending a lot of time unpacking all of those issues and finding out exactly what caused this. I don't have enough information to share on that right now.
Well, what makes you think it was targeted? If 6 people were shot, were they after one of the 6? Were they after the deceased, or?
Well, as we unpack the investigation, we'll learn that. I mean, I don't know what precision was used to fire the shots. I don't know if all of the people there were targeted as a result of his shooting. If he was shooting indiscriminately and trying to hit his target, I don't know yet, but we will find out. Thank you.
Hey, Chief. Can you tell me I know you can't identify the homicide victim, but was it a man, woman, age?
Yes, it was a male.
Do you know how old off the top of your head?
I can get you that. I want to say approximately
You said 36? 36?
30 years old.
Okay. And I know you might not be at liberty. Do you know are you at liberty to say what the beef was about at all?
No, not right now. That's going to be part of the investigation and some of the evidence that are used. I don't want to compromise the investigation.
Gotcha. All right, sir. Thank you.
Chief, just real quick, do you know the condition of the other victims?
Yeah, the varying conditions. We checked in on that a little while ago. We've had some that are temp serious, some are still serious. Fortunately, no other has been reported to me as critical. So we're happy to report that it looks like the other 6 will recover.
And do you know the reason why the business will be shut down? Is it because of other crime in the area or something else?
Well, as I indicated before, if the police have to come in, I've asked the officers to take a look at everything. We've had a number of incidents at this location. About 4 years ago, we responded to an incident where there was 6 people shot and 1 died at that time. So we've got some problems with this business. It's a problem for our community. We're not saying incidents can't happen, but there's a responsibility of the ownership of the business to make sure that they put the necessary security provisions in place to ensure that these things don't happen. We went in, we looked at that. We found that they were unlicensed, and we're going to take the appropriate action to shut them down.
And last question, I know George asked you about the reason for the shooting, but was the shooter part of that banquet? It was at 2 a.m. Are they allowed to be open at 2 a.m.?
Well, you can have an event up until 2 a.m. if you are properly licensed and you have the appropriate licenses in place. So that really isn't the issue. As far as who's on what side of the shooting, we are still unpacking that. And there's some things that right now I'm not at liberty to discuss at risk of compromising the investigation, but more to come.
Thank you, Chief.
Chief, we'll take one more question.
Hey, Chief, just one last question for you. As far as this building being shut down, we noticed that there was like only one door mainly and maybe a side door, but there were no windows whatsoever at the building. Is that part of the reason why this is being shut down, only one way in and out, if there was something major to happen there?
No, that's I mean, we'll look at fire safety issues. What we're focusing on right now with buildings and safety is whether or not they're licensed to operate, and that's what they're going to be shut down for. Just solely licensed to operate. And, when they open back up, we want to make sure that they have the appropriate security provisions, fire safety, lighting, all those things. All those things will be talked about.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
All right. Thank you all.